With Ashes of Creation heading toward Steam Early Access on December 11th, Intrepid Studios is about to step into the largest spotlight they've ever been under. And honestly, I'm worried. Because there are 5 major issues Ashes must fix if they want any hope of surviving Steam's brutal 2-hour refund window and the reality of modern MMORPG player expectations. These aren't small things, these are core pillars of the game. And if they don't get addressed, the Steam release could go sideways real fast. First, the new user experience is rough. Really rough. Look, anyone who has been playtesting Ashes for a year or more knows the systems. We know the early game, we know the quirks. But for a brand new player walking into Vera for the first time, the new user experience is rough. There's almost no guided questing, minimal onboarding, very little direction, and almost no explanation for systems that will shape your entire long-term character identity. Ashes is a complex MMORPG. Decisions you make early can affect your build, your role, your node, your social footprint, and even your PvP risk 10, 20, 40 hours later. Right now, players spawn in and immediately feel lost. There isn't enough clarity or structure in Riverlands. And the new Northern Starting Zone shows many of the same problems. And with Steam refunds, players have 2 hours to decide if they're satisfied. If the first 30 to 45 minutes feels confusing, empty, or overwhelming, most players won't stick around long enough to understand why Ashes is incredible. There are plenty of examples from other MMOs. Final Fantasy XIV rebuilt its entire early MSQ because new players were bouncing off. ESO reworked its tutorial and onboarding twice. New World added quest markers, clearer paths, and early narrative hooks. This isn't optional. Ashes needs a proper new user experience, period. Number 2, the leveling grind cannot just be hit mobs until you hate yourself. Right now, Ashes of Creation's leveling experience is basically kill mobs for hours, level up, and repeat. There are some quests in the early hours, but once you pass that initial stretch, the game becomes pure mob grinding. Look, grind is not inherently bad. Most MMOs have some grind. Classic WoW has grind, Lineage 2, Arcage, Black Desert, all grind-heavy games. But grind cannot be the entire leveling experience. Most modern players are not no-lifing an MMO for 8 to 10 hours a day. They're not killing mobs for 4 hours straight with no narrative, no variety, no immersion, no meaningful progression beats. Ashes must introduce alternative leveling paths, better story content, regional quest arcs, meaningful side quests, exploration rewards, dynamic events, more profession and gather EXP options, improved node-based missions, early narrative through harbingers or main story hooks. Right now, the grind is a wall, and most players won't climb it. Number 3, the narrative, questing, and story systems need dramatic improvement. The narrative is supposed to be one of Ashes' big pillars. The devs said they rebuilt their narrative tools from scratch and completed them months ago. But so far, players haven't seen the results in testing. Ashes needs real story arcs, main quests with purpose, character-driven lore, regional identities, breadcrumb and side quests, harbinger-based story moments, reasons to care about Vera. We want to feel invested. We want to know the characters. We want to understand the world, and we want to feel like we're part of something meaningful. Right now, questing is bare bones, and narrative is almost non-existent. Without it, the grind problem becomes worse. Story fixes grind, story fixes leveling, story fixes onboarding, story fixes investment. Look at every successful modern MMO. Final Fantasy XIV's story is its retention. Guild Wars 2 uses map stories and zone events to guide players naturally. Black Desert rebuilt its entire narrative structure to improve the early game. Ashes must bring narrative online in a real way before Steam. Number 4, the PvP experience is not good, and this is a PvX game. This one hurts to say, because Ashes is supposed to be a PvX game with a massive emphasis on open world PvP, caravans, corruption, and conflict. But if you ask our PvP guilds, if you ask the big groups who used to run large-scale fights, most of them have quit. The PvP doesn't feel good right now. Combat feels inconsistent. Time to kill is awkward. Corruption is too punishing. There's no meaningful reward for fighting. Open world objectives feel pointless. PvP loops aren't motivating players. There's PvP, but no reason to PvP, and no fun in doing it. The Harbinger system might help, and caravans are supposed to be the backbone of open world PvP. But caravans right now, barely functional, and PvP players won't wait forever. If Ashes launches on Steam with bad PvP, the PvP community, which is the backbone of a PvX MMO, will walk. This is urgent. 5. Communication must be clear, consistent, and reliable. This one may surprise people because Intrepid does communicate more than most studios. But the problem isn't quantity, it's consistency and clarity. The recent server wipe situation is the perfect example. For weeks, players asked a simple question: will there be a wipe soon? And for weeks, the answers were essentially, we don't know. It's not announced. We can't say. Then suddenly, the wipe was announced. To make it worse, the announcement was made live on stream outside of the prepared show notes, derailing the messaging the team had planned. Another example, Intrepid said Alpha 2 Phase 3 would launch with one server. Some players complained loudly. Steven immediately jumped into Discord saying he'd see what he can do. And suddenly an EU server appeared. That's not stable messaging. That's reactive messaging. In a live service MMO, your word is everything. Ashes needs consistent messaging, clear timelines, unified internal communication, PR and community teams empowered to do their jobs, fewer last-minute changes, less reacting to Discord pressure. Communication sets expectations. Expectations build trust, and right now trust is fragile. These are 5 critical issues Intrepid must address before stepping onto Steam Early Access. Fix the new user experience, fix the leveling grind, deliver narrative and questing, rebuild the PvP experience, and get communication consistent. There are more improvements Ashes needs, sure, but these 5 are essential. Steam will expose every weakness a game has. If these aren't fixed, Ashes of Creation will face the biggest uphill battle of its entire development cycle. But if Intrepid can get these right, Ashes could walk into Steam and shock the MMO world. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and as always, stay forged, and I'll see you next time.